All right, we're doing another one, guys. We're doing another one. One. Uh, I think a lot of people like this kind of setup more than when I did things on Spotify. I'm still gonna like dibble dabble back and forth between both, but I think I'm going to try my best just to keep it on um a YouTube platform because it's kind of like it's it's a little more like easier for me to actually talk about things because I'm physically staring at myself rather than like when I'm wandering off into space, like I immediately start like disassociating trying to think about what my next thought is, but it's like I'm having a conversation with myself. So, that's one. Two, I have new hair. I got some braids. I love them. I was very nervous. I've never had braids. I've had many various colors of hair, but for those of you people who do not enjoy astrology, I'm sorry for my next comment. But considering my Gemini ass, I change things about my life all the time. All the time. Hair color, style of my room, my to-do list, the way I write to-do lists, everything about me I change like every 3 months because I am very spontaneous. Sometimes it's a really bad thing. Sometimes it's a very good thing. I like to be on my toes all the time because I hate routines, and my level of productivity is to constantly do multiple things and small little projects. So, like this is my small little project. Moving forward, some of my podcasts are very long. I think I want people to try and tune in more, so maybe if I made them not as long, then maybe more people would subscribe, but I don't really know why I care about that, but I do. I also think I'm usually kind of a person that just does things on a whim. I don't really plan because I enjoy kind of just seeing what thoughts pop up in my head when I think about a certain topic, and then it's kind of like my way of navigating through everything. I mean, that's why I made this platform, is to kind of make myself feel like not all my thoughts are all over the place and I'm validated. So, but I will admit, I ChatGPT'd a topic to talk about because this morning when I was at work, we were talking about the FLDS church, and I wanted to talk about religion because I just finished a women in religion class at school. That was a very, very interesting class, especially if, what is it, agnostic, if you're someone who kind of believes that something is out there, but like you're not going to deny any truth, whether it's like scientific or fiction kind of thing. Like you appreciate any kind of any entity. I think that's what that is, regardless of what it is, but you don't categorize yourself. I would consider myself that. I am a Methodist. I was Methodized. Yep. I was baptized in a Methodist church. So, am I more on the lenient side of God being real? Back then, I would say yes. Do I discriminate towards anyone that is more on the stronger belief regarding like being Catholic or Christian or Greek Orthodox or Buddhist or, whatever. You are your own person. Your religion, beliefs, or morals or ethics, that's your own thing. I appreciate that. I will listen to you. I will gladly agree and disagree with some things. Most of the time I disagree. And that's kind of how I felt when I was going to church. I felt like when I was going to church a lot when I was younger, it was never like, I never felt like I had to believe in a certain set of beliefs. Like, it was not very strict at all. If you are a Methodist out there and you are listening, the Methodist Church, they love the gays. Okay, they love the gays. They love you never feel scrutinized, or I never felt scrutinized. Like, for really anything. I didn't feel anxiety when I went to church. I didn't feel like it was a task that I had to do every Sunday. I went and I enjoyed my time. So, and I do believe that there is a higher entity out there that cannot be explained, that should be appreciated, because if there wasn't, then we wouldn't have religion in the first place, I feel. But maybe that is just me. But I like to be open arms with anything, as long as it is not harmful to society, then, or to oneself, which a lot of things are. Anyway, maybe that will be another topic that I talk about, because we're already 6 minutes in and I'm pretty much talking about it already. Anyway, okay, so the point of this podcast, because I had no idea what the fuck to be talking about, so I ChatGPT'd some topics, and the one that I feel as if I could talk about in a way that, like, I can actually break it down. Maybe it could be like a little advice session. Some things I need to listen to myself, so I will be listening and also taking in what I say at the same time. Okay. So, pretty much boundaries. I have struggled for years to have boundaries. I am terrified of them. I'm terrified. And the start of them is just saying no. Like, actually just being like, you know what? No, I don't want to do this. Like, that doesn't make me comfortable. I would rather do blank and not feel any guilt. So you're setting a boundary without feeling any guilt. I did kind of, if you're wondering why I'm like looking back and forth off the screen, I kind of have everything written out in a way so I don't feel as if my thoughts are going very like pinball-y all the time. So, first off, why the fuck is it so hard to say no? Why? Why is it so hard to say no? And why is it so easy for some motherfuckers to say yes or say no or whatever the fuck? People pleasing, FOMO, and guilt. Okay? Those show up a lot when you're in college. A lot. I mean, those show up a lot in general when you're becoming an adult. By the way, I bought a kiwi strawberry Celsius because I have not actually had this flavor. I usually do the kiwi guava one, and I need caffeine, but I'm not in a mood to drink coffee or matcha because I'm just not. So I will be drinking the Celsius. So, I think the problem that people have, especially me, when someone says no, you feel as if you're being selfish because you've never done that before. So you're like, fuck, this is going to hurt them. No. It's not going to hurt them. It's hurting you. It's a self-respect thing. You have to just be able to say no. Hannah, I can't do that. Neither can I, but I've been having to do it, and trust me, it feels awful. But the more and more that you do it, the less awful that it feels. It feels awkward. You feel like there's this pressure on you that you want everyone to like you. For me, I needed everyone to like me. When I was growing up, a lot of people would consider myself, well, maybe this is just me, but I would consider that I'm a very kind person. Most people, from what I have heard, they consider me sweet. When I was younger, I would run with these words and I would just thrive off of any time anyone called me genuine or kind, or you're the nicest person I've ever met, or you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart. And like my parents, they always have called me sweetheart. And that was always a very that's always my favorite word that people have called me, because my parents call me that. And it's very endearing. So when I was growing up and people didn't like me, it caused a lot of conflict in my brain. And I felt as if then, oh, this one person doesn't like me. Well, now everyone doesn't like me. And I could sit here and say, oh, like, I don't really give a fuck, or I don't care, but shit still bothers me. I feel like I'm disappointing people, and I don't like that. But regardless, people are not going to like you. People don't like me. Quite a few people don't like me. And I don't like that. And it sucks, because then you start to, once somebody doesn't like you and then you're friends with somebody else that is correlated with that person that doesn't like you, then you kind of like form this thing in your head that like, oh, but they like them, so like everyone likes them. And then it's like, what are the quality traits about them that everyone likes? And it's like this whole thing. And like, I still do it to this day. And it's like essentially imposter syndrome. If you say no, you think that you're not capable of things. Like you're not able to satisfy the other person. It's always about satisfying the other person. What about me, bitch? What about me? Why can't I satisfy myself? Because I have no self-respect. That kind of came off like very, but it's true. I used to have 0. I have mentioned in many of my podcasts that I physically, like me, when I would say no to people or stand up for myself, I felt like I was going to vomit everywhere. It was terrible. I never did it. And my friends used to say that I was a floor mat. Are you kidding me? Why the fuck would they say that? But it's because I was. I still kind of am sometimes. Like, and it sucks, because then it's like, well, fuck, now I feel like I can kind of say how I feel, or I want to, but then it's like, oh no, it might just be easier. And then you're in front of the person and you're like, no, never mind, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to go on my day and hopefully they still like me at the end of it. Why do we care? What happens when you do this and you say yes to yourself? You feel very burnt out. And I used to think that burnout was just in like working or school. No. Burnout is everywhere. Family problems, lifestyle at home, working, school, activities, hobbies, yourself, friends, relationships, everything. And then it's like, oh, not only is burnout helping, but then resentment. You start to resent people. And then it's like all this resentment and tension is forming. And then you lose yourself completely. I have been there where I hit rock bottom. One of these days, when I talk about, like, I probably, when I am ready, we'll talk about like the worst year of my life. I am not ready to do that yet. But I will say, I have hit rock bottom before. Like, I have hit rock bottom in parts of my life where I felt like I should hit rock bottom, or I should have felt it, because a lot worse things were going on. But no, I hit rock bottom because I did it myself, because I lost myself. And I will never ever go back to being that person ever again. I literally threw her in the trash all the way across the Pacific Ocean. Anyway, having poor boundaries leads to not only toxicity that you're forming within your friendships or relationships, it affects many different factors in your life that you're not even realizing until they're already, the cookie has crumbled. The cookie has been whoosh. Every yes to someone else is a no to yourself. And that sucks, hearing it, being a people pleaser. Because then it's like you don't even know who you really are anymore because you've just formed yourself on basically everyone else's opinion of you. And you thrive off of that, especially if they're saying like consoling, nice things about you. So, the main thing is, Hannah, how the fuck do I say no without sounding like a bitch? Girl, I don't know. I still don't know how to do that. I'm giving y'all advice right now, and I still don't know how to say no. It's easy for me to talk to myself and say that I know how to do it, but I don't. Because it's always harder to listen to our own advice. But when I watch back on this, I am going to remind myself of this. There's a lot of different tactics on how to do it. You kind of have to figure out what your boundaries are first. Like, what about what they're asking you makes you upset or uncomfortable? Then you do the reverse. If they were to ask me or say a statement like they just did to me, would they be upset? So you pretty much put them in your shoes. A lot of people are more scared of, like, there's very different kinds of ways to say no. There's like the direct way, like the firm, hard, like that does not work for me, I'm sorry. Or there's the soft no. I really appreciate what you said, or I didn't appreciate what you said. And I'd prefer if you went about it in a different way. Or there's like the delayed way of no. Can I get back to you? I would like some time to think about it. Can I get back to you? I just am not ready to have a conversation like that. Something like that. Always remind yourself of those boundaries when you're saying no to someone. You want to be able to figure out how to protect your time in that instance. And then further down the line, if it becomes that this person that you're trying so hard to learn how to say no to really understands and implements change within them. If they don't, and they come at you and they make you feel so guilty that you're like, oh, why is this person a part of my life? That's a reflection of them, not you. So the main goal is to make sure you not only understand yourself, but the other person that you're trying to say no to understands where you're coming from. Remind yourself that saying no, it doesn't make you mean. You're not a bitch. You can say no in a very... And you're not going to be like the most perfect person in the world the first time that you ever say no. Like when I started saying no to people, I would come at them. I was very sassy about it. And sometimes I still kind of am. If that person brings up to me saying like, hey, like the way that you just like went about that, like I don't really like, I will reanalyze and be like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that, but thank you for letting me know, and I won't do that again. And if I do, let me know, and I will reevaluate. Something like that. You're not ungrateful either. Guilt is a signal. It's not a truth. It's okay to feel guilty. It's okay to feel shame and blame and whatever the fuck and feel lame. Don't let that shit control you. You need to be able to practice self-affirmation and recognize that you're allowed to prioritize your needs. I'm going to say this to myself again. Learn how to prioritize your needs. When after you have said no, and let's say the conversation goes well or the conversation does not, write that shit down. Why do you think that I started H Lost Thoughts in the first place? This is my own personal diary of and spreading that onto people, because the only way that I feel is if people will understand me is if I post it online and I'm like, hey, look, I'm trying to figure this shit out myself. If you agree with me, then okay. If you don't and no one listens to this, well, these are my own video diaries, because I've been making video diaries for who knows how long in my whole life. It brings me bliss, not ignorance towards my feelings. So, okay. I think that is it. Once you start kind of learning how to process feelings and learn how to process saying no and how you felt about it, you can remind yourself and the other person that it's all a muscle muscle activity. Is that what I'm trying to say? It gets easier with practice. I think that's all I have to say about feeling guilty. Don't let guilt control you, because the only person who knows how to prioritize your needs best is you. So do that shit. Thank you all for listening again. Love y'all. I have a whole 6 subscribers. I think I actually have 7, so that would be super cool. The goal is to get to like 50 before the end of August, and it's June. So if you listen the whole way through, thank you so much. I love how like I talk about like trying to make these shorter, but they usually are like around like 25 minutes. So we're like 2 minutes early. But I know my last one was like 24 minutes or 25 minutes, but I remember one of them was like 27. But I have had ones that are like 10 minutes. But we'll see. No time construct needs to be set on feelings, especially not audio recordings. People listen to podcasts all the time. Anyway, love you guys. And ciao.